our purpose. The whole concept of death is a real scary mystery. Out-of-body experiences really changes all of that quickly. You realize through personal verification that you continue beyond your body, number one. And not only that, but once you meet other people, you realize, I'm talking about other people that have made the transition we call death, that they also are continuing. And that life in many ways continues very much like it was here, especially on the astral plane. Answers are what drives me. I want to know what the universe is like. I want to know what I am. I want to know the answers. And I can think of no other way to obtain that than to go beyond the body. And, of course, this is the driving force that initially started all religions. The whole concept of heaven, hell, purgatory, this was created by men and women who stepped beyond the limits of their body. You know, I talk about this a lot in my workshops, and that, you know, the Bible and the Quran, they're based on out-of-body experience. Revelations begins with, I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day. Now, I know theologians can debate what that means, but when you have an out-of-body experience and you read Revelations, it takes on a whole different meaning than what it does to the egghead who studies biblical text.
Twofold question, William. Can someone in their physical body see an astral body? Question one. Two, can someone in an astral body see others floating around in their astral bodies?
Well, okay. Remember, now you're basically asking me, in a sense, about ghosts, that what people perceive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can. If the astral body if the vibration of the astral body, let's say, or what some people could term the etheric, the first inner energy body, if that energy body is stepped down enough, you will see it as a shadow. I've witnessed this. Matter of fact, this whole phenomena of shadow people and ghosts are nothing more than astral beings who have lowered their vibrational rate. It's not the great mystery that many people think it is. And by the way, people are people. Their ghosts don't become anything else. They're still just people. Sometimes they're confused. Sometimes they're addicted to a location or to a person, attached, in other words. But they're still the same person. They just don't have the body, the dense body anymore. A lot of these things that we consider great mysteries are actually just once you go out of body, you realize, hey, everybody's just people. I mean, they're just living their lives, continuing to live their lives. And that's that comes back to answers. Once you have the experiences, you begin to piece together the real nature of reality and where we fit in.
That's a good point. You know, we talked earlier that there could be many alien abductions that are actually misinterpreted as misinterpreted that they're really OBEs. Tell me about that and your thoughts on that, William.
Well, as you know, I wrote an entire chapter in Secret of the Soul on that subject because I felt so strongly about it, and I've done lectures on this. There is no doubt in my mind, and this is based on not only hundreds and hundreds of letters that I've received from people. When I received letters of OBEs from people, and during the course of my survey, I also received hundreds of letters of abductions and other phenomena. And what surprised me is that the letters at the beginning phases of the experience were almost identical. Vibrations, light, phenomena of some kind, floating, moving to a new location, being touched, being probed, strange beings all around you. All of this, to be quite frank, is exactly what happens during an OBE or some element of it. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's a crowded universe. And when you leave your body, you attract attention. I've had out-of-body experiences where I was surrounded by people, all asking questions and wanting to talk. And, you know, I'm serious. It's the way it is. And it sounds strange, but that's the reality of it. Once you begin to leave your body, people want to communicate with you. And a lot of people immediately, because of our programming, they reach a they jump to conclusion that, oh, this is very strange. It must be an abduction because I'm in a new environment. And also our mind will interpret every event. Remember, we're framing our reality that we experience based on our belief systems. And unfortunately, in our culture now, the alien phenomena culture has become really popular. And I shouldn't say it's unfortunate, but it has slanted our perception of reality to such that people will perceive an alien as being next to them instead of just an astral person,
right.
possibly.
Not to say that the alien abduction is not occurring.
No, I'm not exactly. That's what I like to just to clarify this. I do believe there are aliens, but I also believe that I am one and you are. We are all aliens to this planet. We're not naturally from here. Consciousness is not human. Consciousness is using the human form as a vehicle for consciousness in a dense dimension of reality. When I extend my out-of-body experience, I lose my humanoid form within 5 minutes, and I become like a ball or teardrop of energy, conscious energy. I am not, so it proved to me real quickly, I'm not a human. I'm assuming a human form. So this idea of what's alien and what's not gets a little silly sometimes.
Well, and you're right. There are a lot of people on this planet who I'm sure are not human, if you get my drift. The fascination of OBEs, of course, is not been as prevalent as it should be. I mean, we know of the Robert Monroes, of the Haywood Carringtons, the Sylvan Muldoons from years gone back. But those in ancient days, the really ancient days, who practiced this on a regular basis, who performed it, what happened? How did we lose, at least Western-wise, how did we lose that transition?
I think a lot of that information was interpreted according to the culture of that era. For instance, a good example is the Quran is full of out-of-body experiences. But do you think many people perceive it that way?
No.
What's the night journey? My God, it is so clearly an OBE. It's like slaps you in the face. Mm-hmm. Muhammad leaves his body, clearly says he's escorted by what he calls an angel. He's on an alien being, which is different parts of animals. And then he goes through 7 levels or heavens where he meets different entities. My God, he clearly speaks about different dimensions when he talks about these different heavens. And then, of course, the entire religion of Islam is based on this out-of-body experience. But do you think anybody today, or very many of them, understand the fact that that was an out-of-body? Clearly an out-of-body experience.
No,
instead, ritual and dogma is taken over, just like it has in Christianity with many of the religious beliefs. Like I mentioned earlier about Revelations.
Right.
And St. Paul talking about whether in the body or out of the body, he's in the third heaven. What is he talking about? He's talking about the third heaven. He didn't say he was heaven. He clearly said third heaven, which means that even St. Paul must have been aware that there was more than one heaven when he said the word third. These people knew about a multidimensional universe, and they tried to relay it to a very, let's face it, the people were not, let's just say the educational factor was not there 2,000 years ago, and they had to relate their experiences based to the cultural reference of their time.
Now, these ancient civilizations that then carried forward to civilizations like those who are Buddhists and that, are there and were there millions of people from that culture, this modern culture, who just don't understand this? You know, surely the Buddhist monks do and people like that, but I would guess that there are some people in society from that culture that probably aren't as aware as they should be. They've lost it too, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. I know that I travel, as you know, I live in Asia and I travel all over Asia. Mm-hmm. It's lost. It's unfortunate. And it's a lot of it has to do with the fact that I feel, this is just my personal opinion, the founders and the people that controlled the religions didn't feel that the populace could handle this kind of information. It was too heady. How do you explain to somebody, too, that can't read and write that we live in a multidimensional universe and that you every one of you are multidimensional beings.